Well, hello there and good day. Thank you so much for joining me at Dystopian Report, the place where we talk the nightmare world we found ourselves living in. I'm your host, Jesse Pullman. Today is December 15th, 2025. It's about 9:57 p.m. Eastern as I make this video. And today we're going to talk about what happens when a president behaves evilly, because this has been a weekend of evil. There was evil and some heroism, but evil in Australia. There was evil in Brown University, which we're still working on getting information about. And there was a terrible murder, double murder, really. Actor and producer Rob Reiner and his wife, Michele Reiner, were found dead. Allegedly, it was their son who did it. And I'm just talking off the cuff. I don't have a script. It's not my first attempt at this, but it's a hard topic because, A, it's such a family tragedy that I don't know how to process it. But B, when we talk about people who are supposed to lead our country and lead us in times of distress and confusion and hurt, anger, pain. Our president, Donald Trump, serving his second term, so he was reelected. He was elected and reelected. Everyone knew he was like this. He made it about himself. He said it was Trump derangement syndrome that killed these people. Now, I confess, I don't know much about Rob Reiner. I know he was apparently, from what I've read in the aftermath of all of this, he was responsible for helping to get Proposition 8 overturned in California, which legalized gay marriage. So from that perspective, he did something good. I don't know really anything about his wife. I don't know them. I don't know how to honor them, but I do know their death wasn't because of Trump derangement syndrome. I do know their death wasn't about Donald Trump, and he made it about himself. And he kind of claimed their death because he's saying, like, if you're super opposed to me, you'll be killed, is basically what he said, which is kind of taking credit for it, which is a choice. He was called out on this at an interview or a press opportunity of some sort, and he doubled down on it. Of course he did. And, you know, I'm sitting here, I have to play with this lock and clip and all that just to keep my mind about me right now. It's kind of insane this weekend. And this guy, I mean, he did a terrible job at Brown University in the sense that he claimed that the killer had been apprehended, and then they hadn't been, they didn't know. So he put out false information about an ongoing attack. But, okay. And then he claimed this murder, double murder, whatever you want to call it, because he didn't like the guy. He just didn't like the guy. So he wanted to talk about how he didn't like the guy. Okay. So what do you do when a president is evil? Because that's what this is. It's evil. There's a good show on CBS. Used to be a good provider of entertainment, and there's a show called Evil. Goes into what evil really can be about. It's a little farcical, but it's also worth observing. I know, right? Side note, it would be a good dystopian report topic. Evil is making someone else's murder about yourself when it's got nothing to do with you. And what do you do when a president is evil? We're strictly talking about legal, non-violent things here. We're strictly talking about, pacifistic solutions. Well, can you impeach him? That's the first thing you would think of, right? Because that's how you're supposed to get rid of corrupt, messed up officials. Well, you can impeach somebody for a high crime and misdemeanor, and while this might be some form of slander towards the Reiners, I don't know that rises to the occasion. I mean, Trump is certainly impeachable for other things, like his war in Venezuela on boats and everything. Like, that's fine. Democrats are afraid to do that. There's like 25 Democrats, including my own Tom Suozzi. Never voting for him again, don't ask. They're afraid to do it. Okay. But you can't impeach him, but what can you do? Now, the theoretical solution to this is the 25th Amendment, right? The president is so mentally unstable that he's making other people's murders about himself. He is mentally unwell. The 25th Amendment exists in case of incapacitation, where the president is just unable to do his job, which I would argue he is, because he can't even lead the country in a moment of, like, reflection. Because that's what you're supposed to do when an atrocity happens. You're supposed to reflect. You're supposed to think about it. You know, you can see me thinking about it right now. Again, I don't have a script here. I'm just amazed. I didn't think I could be more amazed, but I'm always more amazed. And I'm sure you're all like that too. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that no one's doing anything about it. Now, theoretically, anyone in the cabinet can initiate a 25th Amendment proceeding, and I think it takes half the cabinet agreeing plus the vice president is a vote. And if they're found to be unable to continue the job, then the vice president is immediately put in place, at least until such a time as the president can be considered mentally well enough to do the job. I would again argue that Trump is not well enough to do the job, but the problem is I've been lying to you this whole time. I've been lying to myself this whole time. It's not the president who's evil. I mean, it is, but it's all of them. They're all pretty evil, aren't they? Because they're letting this go on. So what can we do about it? Well, you can call your representatives, demand that they do something about it. I don't know, maybe you'll be the vote that pushes them over the edge. Am I going to say that's a likely thing? No, it's not. I doubt it. But you could do it. You can make that clear. You can vote. There's an election in 2026, and you can vote. And maybe then someone will do something about it. I don't know. You can vote in 2028. You can say, you know what, we're not going to let any of these people have power. Now, we on this Dystopian Report channel, this place have, we talked about what needs to happen should this horror show come to an end. Because it doesn't just end. It has to be cleaned up after. There's an episode, I don't remember the exact number of it. I will look now. It's about a truth and reconciliation process. For truth and reconciliation, it's episode 39. So just YouTube search for DysRep 039. There's a space there. And I'm not the only person to talk about truth and reconciliation things, but, you know, we need truth and reconciliation. We need that. And that involves people going to jail. Because people need to go to jail for what they've done. But that's what we can do about it. Get on the phone to your representatives. Tell them that you are fed up with it. I don't know. Do I think anything's going to come of this video? No. But it felt good to say. And that's the last message I want to give you to take away from this. Is that you need to be able to find the courage to say to yourself, to a friend, to a therapist, to someone else in general, to the general public, however comfortable you feel. You need to be able to say how you feel. And you need to be able to make your voice heard. Do so in a peaceful way. And don't back down either. Have clear demands. You will not vote for a person unless they will do their job. You will primary them. You will see them out of office. You will see them voted out one way or another. And that's all there is to it. And if they don't allow you to have a vote, that's another story, but we're not at that point yet. Anyhow, I want to thank you all so much for joining me. If you appreciate this video, if you feel like my rant has helped you put some of your own thoughts into coherent frameworks, please do subscribe to the channel. We're hoping to hit 100 by the end of the year. We've kind of hit a plateau. It's been there for a while. Maybe this will be the video that changes it. I don't know. But we're hoping to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We've got 15 more days to do it. Maybe 16. I forget it. Yeah, December is 31 days. And yeah, it went on longer than I thought it would, but it was worth it. Thank you all so much for joining me and as always on this channel. Pieces.